So Kali personified is asking, let me live permanently under the protection of your government. At the same time, I should not be afraid of his sword. That means I should be independent also. I should not be afraid also. That means I can do all type of illicit activities under your shelter. And that is what is happening now also. Now 19th verse, 39th verse. पुनश्च याचमानाय जातरूप दात्प्रभुः ततो नृदं मदं कामं रजो वैरं च पञ्चमम्. The personality of Kali asked for something more, and because of his begging, the king gave permission to leave where there is gold, because wherever there is gold, there is also falsity, intoxication, lust, envy, and enmity. Hmm. Every woman wears abhushan. So Kali recites. So which gold has been spoken? The gold which is used in the gambling, the gold which is used for illicit activities. Like in the marriages, Mangal Sutra is put. Kali recites. So we should not misunderstand this verse. The gold were bad money. Generally, it is known as bad money, where they use it for as a gambling. That's all bad money. So Prabhupada writes more about it. Okay, Kusum Mataji, read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. पुनश्च याचमानाय जातरूपम् अदात् प्रभुः ततो नृतं मदं कामं रजो वैरं च पंचमम्. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The personality of Kali asked for something more, and because of his begging, the king gave him permission to live where there is gold, because wherever there is gold, there is also falsity, intoxication, lust, envy, and enmity. Perfect. Although Maharaj Parikshit gave Kali permission to live in 4 places,
Your voice is not heard.
it
Kusum?
was very difficult for him to find the places because during the reign of not heard Mataji. Now Mataji,
Yeah.
now can we hear Mataji? Okay. Although Maharaj Parikshit gave Kali permission to live in 4 places, it was very difficult for him to find the places because during the reign of Maharaja Parikshit, there was no such places. Therefore, Kali asked the king to give him something practical which could be utilized for his nefarious purposes. Maharaja Parikshit thus gave him permission to live in a place where there is gold, because wherever there is gold, there are all the above mentioned 4 things, and over and above them, there is enmity also. So the personality of Kali became gold standardized. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, gold encourages falsity, intoxication, prostitution, envy, and enmity. Even a gold standard exchange and currency is bad. Gold standard currency is based on falsehood because the currency is not on a par with the reserve gold. The basic principle is falsity because currency notes are issued in value beyond that of the actual reserve gold. This artificial inflation of currency by the authorities encourages prostitution of the state economy. The price of commodities become artificially inflated because of bad money or artificial currency notes. Bad money drives away good money. Instead of paper currency, actual gold coins should be used for exchange. And this will stop prostitution of gold. Gold ornaments for women may be allowed by control, not by quality but by quantity. This will discourage lust, envy, and enmity. currency. When there is actual gold currency in the etc. will automatically cease. There will be no need of an anti-corruption ministry for another term of prostitution and falsity of purpose. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Why it is that you run very fast while reading? You run, or it is something wrong in your phone? So gold ornaments for women may be allowed by control, not
Couldn't
by
make out, Mataji.
quantity,
Was
but
it
by
fast?
what? Controlling by quantity. You cannot put so much that you make others envy. There is a restriction in putting also, but quality restriction is not there. Quality should be good. And prostitution of gold, exchange gold coins, all those things should be stopped. So in this way, bad money that has been spoken. Anti-corruption. There is no need of an anti-corruption ministry for another term of prostitution and falsity of purpose. So here Kali says, let me reside in that gold. Okay. So Maharaj Parikshit allowed him to stay in 5 places. Amuni, Panchasthanani, Yadharma, Prabhava Kalihi, Autareyena, Dattani, Nyavasayat, Nyavasat, Nyavasat, Tanni Deshakrit. So he allowed him to stay in 5 places. Panchasthanani, where Adharma is there. Adharma Prabhava, Kalihi, Autarena. So he was allowed by the son of Autarena, that is Uttara, Parikshit Maharaj. Dattani Nyavasat. So in this way, he was given the direction. Nideshakrit. So wherever falsity is there, gold standardization, Kali began gold standardization, falsity, intoxication, animal slaughter, prostitution, wherever these are all rampant, there Kali will stay. As a Prabhupada emphasizes on following the 4 regulative principles. If you don't follow that, in all that places where meat eating, gambling, intoxication, and all these things are there, illicit sex, there Kali will reside.
Mataji, what does this prostitution of gold means? I am not able to understand. Why Prabhupada has given this word?
The gold, even prostitutes wear gold. That is one meaning. And then prostitution gold. You purchase a woman with gold.
Oh,
That means they're using the gold for a wrong purpose.
okay.
Okay. Read this verse, Nidya Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. अमुनि पंचस्थानानि हि अधर्म प्रभवा कलिः औत्तरेयण दत्तानि नयवसत्तनिदेशकृत्. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Thus the personality of Kali, by the directions of Maharaja Parikshit, the son of Uttra, was allowed to live in those 5 places. Purport. Thus, the age of Kali began with gold standardization, and therefore, falsity, intoxication, animal slaughter, and prostitution are rampant all over the world. And the saner section is eager to drive out corruption. The counteracting process is suggested above, and everyone can take advantage of this suggestion. Hare Krishna.
Next. 42nd. 41. 41. अथैतानि अथैतानि न सेवेत बुभूषा पुरुषत्वचेत् विशेषतो धर्मशीलो राजा लोकपति गुरुः. Atha therefore etani, all these, na never, seveta, come in contact, Bhuvushu, those who desire well-being, Purushaha, persons, Kvachit in any circumstances, Visheshatah specifically, Adharmashilah, those who are on the progressive path of liberation, Raja, the king, Lokapati, public leader, Guru, the Brahmanas and sannyasis. Therefore, whoever desires progressive well-being, especially kings, religionists, public leaders, brahmanas, sannyasis, should never come in contact with the four above mentioned irreligious activities. So one has to be very careful about meat eating, intoxication, illicit sex, and gambling. Because in these places, Kali resides. And also in the place where gold is there, which type of gold? The gold used for prostitution, the gold used for making others envy, different things. Okay, 41st. Jumu read. Jumu Nikhil read.
Yes, Mataji. अथैतानि अथैतानि न सेवेत बुभुषु पुरुष क्वचेत् विशेषतो धर्मशीलो राजा लोकपतिर्गुरुः. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Therefore, whoever desires progressive well-being, especially kings, religionists, public leaders, brahmanas, and sannyasis, should never come in contact with the four above mentioned irreligious principles. Purport: the brahmanas are the religious preceptors for all other castes, and the sannyasis are the spiritual masters for all castes and orders of society. So also are the king and the public leaders who are responsible for the material welfare of all people. The progressive religionists and those who are responsible human beings or those who do not want to spoil their valuable human lives should refrain from all principles of irreligiosity, especially illicit connection with women. If a Brahmana is not truthful, all his claims as a Brahmana at once becomes null and void. If a sannyasi is illicitly connected with women, all his claims as a sannyasi are at once become false. Similarly, if the king and the public leader are unnecessarily proud or habituated to drinking and smoking, certainly they become disqualified to discharge public welfare activities. Truthfulness is the basic principle for all religions. The four leaders of the human society, namely the sannyasis, the brahmana, the king, and the public leader, must be tested crucially by their character and qualification. Before one can be accepted as a spiritual or material master of society, he must be tested by the above mentioned criteria of character. Such public leaders may be less qualified in academic qualifications, but it is necessary primarily that they be free from the contamination of the four disqualifications, namely gambling, drinking, prostitution, and animal slaughter. Hare Krishna.
42nd. Vishasya nashta स्त्री पादः तपः शौचं दयामिति प्रतिसन्दद आश्वासः आश्वास्य महिं च समवर्धयत् वृषस्य the bull, the personality of religion, nashta, lost, three pada, green pada, three legs, tapaha, shaucham, daya, is gone, austerity, cleanliness, and mercy is gone. When you say mercy, meat eating. When you say cleanliness, that refers to no illicit sex, austerity, no intoxication. Okay, say austerity, no gambling also, you can say. No, truthfulness is for no illicit sex, no gambling, no meat eating. What are the four things? No meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex. And what is another one?
Drinking.
No intoxication.
Intox-
Okay. So here tapaha, refers to austerity. So we have four things, na? No meat eating, no illicit sex. For tapasya, it is no intoxication, no gambling. So still now, truthfulness is remaining. Are all three legs gone? Iti pratisandade established Ashwasya by encouraging activities, Mahim the earth, Samavardhayat perfectly improved. So the king re-established the lost legs of the personality of God and bull. By encouraging activities, he sufficiently improved the condition of the earth. So he gave back the three legs. So Raja Rishina, he gave back the three legs. Daya, Shaucham, and Tapaha. All these three legs have come back. Anyhow, there was no intoxication. Truthfulness was at least prevailing. Other three was cut. So that has been given back. Okay, read. Who will read? Anjana Mataji. Your voice is unheard, Anjana Mataji. Okay, Kusum, you only read.
Okay, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Vrashasya nashtam strin padan tapah saucham dayam iti prati sandada ashvasya mahim cha samavardayat. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thereafter, the king re-established the lost legs of the personality of religion, the bull, and by encouraging activities, he sufficiently improved the conditions of the earth. Purport: by designating particular places for the personality of Kali, Maharaj Parikshit practically cheated Kali. In the presence of Kali, Dharma in the shape of a bull and the earth in the shape of a cow, he could actually estimate the general condition of his kingdom, and therefore he at once took proper steps to re-establish the legs of the bull, namely austerity, cleanliness, and mercy. And for the general benefit of the people of the world, he saw that the gold stock might be employed for stabilization. Gold is certainly a generator of falsity, intoxication, prostitution, enmity, and violence. But under the guidance of a proper king or public leader, or a brahmana or sannyasi, the same gold can be properly utilized to establish the lost legs of the bull, the personality of religion. Maharaj Parikshit, therefore, like his grandfather Arjun, collected all illicit gold kept for the propensities of Kali and employed it in the Sankirtana Yajna as per instruction of the Srimad Bhagavatam. As we have suggested before, one's accumulated wealth may be divided into three parts for distribution, namely 50% for the service of the Lord, 25% for the family members, and 25% for personal necessities. Spending 50% for the service of the Lord or for propagation of spiritual knowledge in society by way of the Sankirtana Yajna is the maximum display of human mercy. People of the world are generally in darkness regarding spiritual knowledge, especially in regard to the devotional service of the Lord, and therefore to propagate the systematic transcendental knowledge of devotional service is the greatest mercy that one can show in this world. When everyone is taught to sacrifice 50% of his accumulated gold for the Lord's service, certainly austerity, cleanliness, and mercy automatically ensues, and thus the lost three legs of the personality of religion are automatically established. When there is sufficient austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness, naturally Mother Earth is completely satisfied, and there is very little chance for Kali to infiltrate the structure of human society. Hare Krishna Mataji.
So
Thank you.
when there is sufficient austerity, cleanliness, mercy, truthfulness, Mother Earth is also satisfied. As dharma su sakshat bhagavad pranitham, wherever Shanka is born, dharma is bound to be established and it is based on the four regulatory principles. So Prabhupada says a devotee, even if he has no big altar or something like that, but at least he follows the four regulatory principles and then follows ABCD square association, book reading, chanting, Dhamba, GT worship, he is sure to go back to Godhead. स एष हेत्य स एष हेत्य ध्यास्य ध्यास्त आसनं पार्थिवोचितं पितामहेनोपन्यस्तं राज्ञारण्यं विवीक्षत आस्ते धुना स राजर्षि कौरवेन्द्र श्रियोल्लसन् गजाभये गजाभये महाभागश्चक्रवर्ती चक्रवर्ती Vrishabha. The most fortunate Emperor Maharaj Parikshit Esha at present. Adhyastam is ruling one. Asanam the throne. Parthavim Uchitaha is just befitting a king. Pitamahena by the great grandfather. Upanasyat Upanyasatam Nyasatam being handed over. Ragya by the king. Aranyam forest. Vivikshata desiring. Aste is there. Adhuna at present. Sah that Raja Rishi, the sage among the kings, Kauravate Indra, the chief among the Kuru kings. Then Shriya glories, Ullasan spreading, Gajavai in Hastinapur, Mahabhagat, the most fortunate, Chakravarti, the emperor, Bharat Shabha, the highly famous. Translation goes, the most fortunate emperor Maharaj Parikshit was entrusted with the kingdom of Hastinapur by Maharaj Yudhishthir. When he desired to retire to the forest, is now ruling the world with great success due to his being glorified by the deeds of the kings of the Kuru dynasty. So now king established the four legs and then he was merciful towards Kali also. Now he is entrusted with the kingdom of Hastinapur by Maharaj Yudhishthir before going to the forest. And then he's now ruling the entire world with a great success that has been given. Okay. Narayana Dev.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी स एष एत्य एतर्ह्यध्यास्त आसनं पार्थिवोचितं पितामहेनोपन्
स एष एतर
यस्
ह्यदस्यात्
यद्ध्यास्त
हृदयास्त
स एष एतर्ह्यध्यास्त आसनं पार्थिवोचितं पितामहेनोपन्यस्तं राज्ञारण्यं विविक्षता आस्ते धूना स राजर्षि कौरवेन्द्रश्रियोल्लसन् गजाभये महाभाग चक्रवर्ती बृहस्रवाः. Translation and purport of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. The most fortunate emperor Maharaj Parikshit, who was entrusted with the kingdom of Hastinapura by Maharaj Yudhishthir when he desired to retire to the forest, is now ruling the world with great success due to his being glorified by the deeds of the kings of the Kuru dynasty. Purport. The prolonged sacrificial ceremonies undertaken by the sages of Naimisharanya were begun shortly after the demise of Maharaj Parikshit. The sacrifice was to continue for 1000 years, and it is understood that in the beginning, some of the contemporaries of Baladev, the elder brother of Lord Krishna, also visited the sacrificial place. According to some authorities, the present tense is also used to indicate the nearest margin of time from the past. In that sense, the present tense is applied to the reign of Maharaj Parikshit here. For a continuous fact, also present tense can be used. The principles of Maharaj Parikshit can be still continued, and the human society can be still improved if there is determination by the authorities. We can still purge out from the state all activities of immorality introduced by the personality of Kali if we are determined to take action like Maharaj Parikshit. He allotted some place for Kali, but in fact, Kali could not find such places in the world at all because Maharaj Parikshit was strictly vigilant to see that there were no places for gambling, drinking, prostitution, and animal slaughter. Modern administrators want to banish corruption from the state, but fools as they are, they do not know how to do it. They want to issue licenses for gambling houses, wine, and other intoxicating drug houses, brothels, hotel, prostitution, and cinema houses, and falsity in every dealing, even in their own. And they want at the same time to drive out corruption from the state. They want the kingdom of God without God consciousness. How can it be possible to adjust two contradictory matters? If we want to drive out corruption from the state, we must first of all organize society to accept the principles of religion, namely austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness. And to make the condition favorable, we must close all places of gambling, drinking, prostitution, and falsity. There are some of These are some of the practical lessons from the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.
The last verse. Itham bhutanubhavo yamabhim yamabhim yam abhimanyu. Itham bhutanubhavoyam abhimanyusruto nृपः यस्य पालयत शौनीं यूयं सत्राय दीक्षिताः. Iktam Bhuta, being thus Anubhava. Experience, I am of this Abhimanyu Sutaha, the son of Abhimanyu, Nripa, the king, Yasya those, Paletaha, on account of his ruling, Shauning on the earth, Yuyam, you all, Satraya, in performing sacrifices, Dikshitaha, initiated. Maharaj Parikshit, the son of Abhimanyu, is so experienced that by dint of his expert administration patronage, it has been possible for you to perform a sacrifice such as. So, Maharaj Parikshit, now glorification of Maharaj Parikshit is going on. Maharaj Parikshit is so experienced that just by his dint of his expert patronage, it has been possible for you to perform this sacrifice. Okay? Glorification of Maharaj Parikshit in last verse also is there. And then here he allowed a person who is surrendered, though he may be not favorable, he is personification of Kali, but still he gave ashray. Now he is so experienced, dint of his sacrifice, patronage and patronage, administration patronage, it has been possible for you to perform a sacrifice such as. Okay, read Kusum.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Itham bhutanubhavoyam abhimanyu suto nृपः yasya palayata kshauni yuyam satraya dikshitaः. Translation proper by Srila Prabhupada. Srila
So
Prabhupada
this
ji.
verse is taken by
Maharaja Parikshit.
Sutta Goswami to Naimisharanya Rishis. So because of Parishit Maharaj, even you all are sitting and performing a sacrifice. Read.
Translation. Maharaj Parikshit, the son of Abhimanyu, is so experienced that by dint of his expert administration and patronage, it has been possible for you to perform a sacrifice such as this. Perfect. The Brahmanas and the Sannyasis are expert in the spiritual advancement of society, whereas the Kshatriyas or the administrators are expert in the material peace and prosperity of human society. Both of them are the pillars of all happiness, and therefore they are meant for full cooperation for common welfare. Maharaj Parikshit was experienced enough to drive away Kali from his field of activities and thereby make the state receptive to spiritual enlightenment. If the common people are not receptive, it is very difficult to impress upon them the necessity of spiritual enlightenment. Austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness, the basic principles of religion, prepare the ground for the reception of advancement in spiritual knowledge, and Maharaj Parikshit made this favorable condition possible. Thus, the rishis of Naimisharanya were able to perform the sacrifices for 1,000 years. In other words, without In other words, without state support, no doctrines of philosophy or religious principles can progressively advance. There should be complete cooperation between the Brahmanas and the Kshatriyas for this common good. Even up to Maharaj Ashoka, the same spirit was prevailing. Lord Buddha was sufficiently supported by King Ashoka, and thus his particular cult of knowledge was spread all over the world. Thus, end the Bhakti Vedanta purpose of the first canto, 17th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Punishment and Reward of Kali. Hare Krishna, Masaki.
Okay. Any questions? We'll start this next class. Maharaj Parikshit was by Brahmana God. No questions? Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.